Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. Coming soon from Gamble Comics, BC Brute.
Six 2003. I actually said that right.
Yeah,
I was
2003.
I was very concerned for a second. I was like, wait
It's
a minute.
totally understandable.
We are in New York City, New York.
Oh my goodness.
Madison Square Garden.
That is amazing. I didn't know that you checked,
Yeah.
but my SmackDown is also at Madison Square Garden.
Kind of figured. Because typically, if they do one, they do the other.
Oh, for sure.
At least traditionally.
Yes.
It doesn't always.
Yeah,
work
it's
that way.
basically a homecoming.
But, yes, absolutely. We are in the city that the McMahons made, etc. So, of course, Bischoff's kind of in a mood for reasons that
Yeah.
I'm sure we all understand.
Well, yeah, because he feels as though he beat them for 83 weeks, and it's not really fair that it's not fair to Flair that there's no Nitro.
Well, listen, that's the realities of playing this game. But regardless of Eric's feelings, he's got a big show next week. He's gonna have a big show tonight. Lots of setup to do, so we're gonna get it started off with a big old hardcore title match against my boy Scotty 2 Hotty defending against Xavier. Big return match after his crushing defeat against Brock Lesnar in 2 weeks ago now, I think.
Yeah, it was in Newcastle. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I remember you checked.
I was about to say one of them cities that
Yeah.
we were in at that
Because we were sure it wasn't Blackpool, and so it's like, hey,
we're
give us
1,000% confident it was Blackpool.
I think there was
many reasons.
one takeover from Blackpool,
Yeah, take over Blackpool.
but it's rare that they ever
was
have
like
a show there.
2016, 17? I don't even remember. It was a while ago.
Oh yeah,
But I think that was the only show they've ever done in Blackpool.
I like the name a lot, and I think
Yeah,
that
it sounds cool.
I think that's the reason that Regal chose it, not because he was from there, but because it sounded cool.
I was about to say. It sounds like a hard city to be in. I know nothing about Blackpool.
Same.
Probably isn't that hard. I don't know. Or maybe it is. I've never been to England.
Leave a comment below if
I
you've
was about
been
to
to
say,
England.
Let me know. But so I'm starting off Xavier versus Scotty 2 Hotty hardcore title match. These are just two wrestlers doing good wrestling things. Scotty, of course, a master of crowd control, has the crowds going on their ups, going on their downs, getting their goosebumps, getting the arm slap crap.
Yeah,
Dwayne,
Dwayne, I was gonna say Dwayne's here.
Yeah. Love Xavier, big fan of him. Tries to go for a 450 through a table, misses. Scotty hits his wheelbarrow DDT for the 1, 2, 3, retaining the hardcore title. My boy is on a roll as of right now. Next segment, we have Triple H and Ric Flair barging into Tori and Eric's office. They are absolutely furious with the safety conditions here on Monday Night Raw. They can't believe it. They were just in the back having a promo, having a conversation with the people, their people, and they were accosted by those ruffians, those hardcore garbage men, and Rob Van Dam and the Dudley Boys.
It's funny. Did you see that in real life, Rob Van Dam had said that the actions or the choices being made in the main event picture of All Elite Wrestling make him want to be considered a WWE wrestler and not an AEW wrestler?
Wow, I did not hear that.
Oh my goodness, the internet is calling him a big old hypocrite,
Yeah, I
especially
was about to say.
especially when you see photos of him holding Janice from his time in
Oh yeah.
TNA.
I forgot about that.
And so, don't get me wrong.
Janice carved him up. Yeah.
I understand
That was my first nightmare.
that. Really, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I was horrified when that happened.
So I understand where he's coming from in the respect that he's what 50 something.
Yep.
And he's like, I don't need none of that in my life right now.
I'm about to say he's a different man.
Yeah.
You know, time changes.
Well, and even the 90s into 2000s, Rob Van Dam was an innovator of weapon usage and not
weapon-based violence.
yes, and not just a traditional I got it and I'm gonna swing it at you kind of guy. He was always
I'm about to say he literally
inventive.
has 3 different chair-based moves named after him.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And so, like, I understand that his time in ECW wasn't like a New Jack time or a Sandman
I
time.
don't think anything could be a New Jack time.
Well, what I mean is,
Yeah.
very dangerous.
Yeah.
And
Very hardcore, very extreme.
and what you would expect from the brand. Whereas I think Rob was great at subverting expectations
For sure.
when it came to Extreme Championship Wrestling. He fit, to me, as much in the mold of a Dean Malenko and an Eddie Guerrero and Too Cold Scorpio, more so than he did into the, like I said, the
chair swinging, beer swinging.
exactly, yeah, the Axel Rottens and the Ian Rottens and the Balls
Sandmans
Mahoney's,
and
yeah,
the Balls
yeah.
and- yeah.
Like there were different archetypes or genres,
different
even.
levels, different. I'm about to say that's what made ECW so great was there was layers upon layers of EC. It wasn't just all right, yeah, we're just gonna smash tables over your head and carve you up with barbed wire every scene. That they had the cruiserweight action, the
Absolutely.
luchadors.
Yes.
They had the technical wrestling of Malenko and Jerry Lynn.
Yes.
Like there was so many.
And so, like
so
I said,
many layers.
I feel like Rob was definitely a hybrid because he did use some weapons, but
Very
he
much
also
so.
was very innovative too. So I get
especially when he danced with Sabu.
I get that. What do they call it in AEW? Spike isn't his go-to thing, but also it's like whether it be Mox or Swerve, anytime AEW goes
Extreme.
well, I was gonna say
Grotesque.
in the '90s style of non-PG wrestling, people get up in arms about it, which is funny because everybody's like, "Oh, I want to go back to the."
I'm about to say I
the
miss
old
the
days,
attitude.
yeah.
Era.
And it's like anytime
why don't people bleed anymore?
anytime they get some attitude, they get all scared. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm about to say
it's gonna be okay.
guys. This is literally what you were begging for.
Yeah, I'm like,
Quite literally.
whatever.
Yeah, that's why I love Moxley. He gives me all the things I want. By the way, love that spot. That was a great spot. Big fan.
Him and Swerve, I think, are gonna do great work together.
They're gonna really hurt.
I
each other.
just hope Strickland comes away with the championship.
I mean, I'm a huge John Moxley fan.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I do
I'm
also
not-
love Swerve.
Obviously, I'm not
So-
anti John.
Yeah, I didn't say you were.
I just
me
think
personally.
that when it comes to, as Tony calls it, the challenger brand, I think it's better to put Swerve front and center than it is John Moxley. And it's no knock on John Moxley. I just think that,
There's a reason he's a 4-time AEW World Champion.
absolutely.
Like he was the best guy 4 different points of time.
Yeah.
So
It's like, because in my mind, there's an argument to be made that maybe Swerve shouldn't have lost the title to Bryan. But, it's fine. I'm not mad at it. I'm just wanting to get back to the pinnacle. Or whatever, the top spot.
I'm about to say that's pretty dead. I'm saying useless faction. But yeah. Now to be fair, this has probably been Moxley's worst reign of his 3 reigns, which is saying something. Because of that Punk situation.
Yes.
For one of them, but I mean, I don't think it's because of like the action. It's more just how everything was booked around the reign. Kind of didn't help it.
Well, and
Anything?
I think hiding the title is kind of one of the things that sours me to it.
I
It's
like
like-
that idea.
yeah.
Personally. I'm about to say I know what the belt looks like. I've seen it for 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. It just seems like that, personally, that I know he's saying we don't deserve it, but it's almost
We
like
ain't
you
earned
don't
it.
care. And that's what I don't like. It's like, I just want him to want it. But it's fine. Back to...
I'm about to say each opinion of their own.
but Dudley's and...
Yeah, Dudley's and should be punished for their unsportsmanlike attack against Evolution. Tori says, "Listen, there isn't anything they can do. This is literally your effing job. Like, it's not. It's not really like, yeah, we'll keep it safe to a degree, but you kind of started it, so there's nothing we can do." Of course, Eric slides in and says, "Well, I mean, listen, I kind of have full control next week, so I can kind of do whatever I want. So how about I ban them from the arena next week? In fact, we'll go ahead and pay for the plane tickets. We'll ship them right out of New York City. They can go back to Philadelphia or whatever. And to compensate you for your time and your troubles, how about we give your young upstart, your young gun, an opportunity at the championship next week? How does that sound?"
That's pretty cool.
And then, so obviously the TV's in the background because, for some reason, general managers always have TVs
Sure.
on the side so I can look at the TV like this. Be like, wow, what a great show I'm putting on. Oh, this is great.
I like that.
But in the background, Scotty is still celebrating
with
his hardcore
the
title.
fans because they love him.
Yep, big fan. He's hitting the worm, doing the too cool.
Got the shades and all that.
Yeah. Yep, all that good stuff. While that's all going on, Eric looks at the TV, looks back at Triple H and Rick. Accept, handshake. We got a match for next week.
And so that's Randy and
Scotty. For the hardcore title.
Yeah, that's cool.
Shoot, fun stuff. Rhino and Cena are standing in front of like a brick wall somewhere. It's promo vignette type thing.
Sure.
Talk a lot of trash, but basically comes down and dirty to they are staking their claim. They're going to be future tag team champions here on Monday Night Raw, fleshing out our already massive tag team division. And by massive, I mean there's like 7 teams. But
that's still not bad.
I'm about to say.
7's way better than a lot of times in history.
Yep, absolutely. We get another promo. Literally just a high package, just showing Brock's dominance in this current reign of undisputed Universal Championship-ness. Except not Universal, AEW.
I got you. Yeah.
How about it?
Undisputed World, Heavyweight, Universal, all of the adjectives. Global.
Galactic, intergalactic.
Multiversal.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I was so used to hearing that for so many years, it's just stuck in my head.
Well, and Paul is so good at saying it and making things seem valuable even when you don't like them.
Yeah, it sticks to your head so much. He's so good at
Paul
it.
Heyman, yep.
But yeah, basically, all that to say, Brock will be on TV next week to address your Heartbreak King.
Oh, that's cool.
Gonna be fun stuff on next week's Raw. And then finally, last but not least, we have the main event of the evening: Jazz versus Trish for the Women's Championship. I want to say rematch, but I can't remember when.
I guarantee they've had a match.
I'm about to say I only have so many women, so I guarantee they wrestled at some point.
Absolutely.
But Trish, the cocky, squirrely champion that she is employing guerrilla warfare, hit and run tactics, running out of the ring, running in circles. As soon as Jazz slides in, stomps her out. Then she gets up and is like, "Oh, that didn't do anything. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave again." Kind of takes the advantage of the match so Jazz finally grabs her. She rips the turnbuckle off, and then Jazz runs in full speed, headbutts the turnbuckle, and Trish kind of takes over from there.
Makes sense. She's not Samoan.
Yep, she's not Samoan. She doesn't have a hard head. Well, probably does. But
sure, but hard enough.
Not in the traditional wrestling sense of hard head.
Yeah.
I'm about to say this ain't Umaga and Jamal or Towel Reigns as we call them.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's just been a trope for forever that Samoans can't.
I'm about to say, since Samoans entered wrestling, for some reason, that was the trope.
I
really want to know the origin of that.
According to Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret, it was Afa and Sika who invented that concept that awesome. Samoans have extra thick skulls.
That makes sense. Honestly, for those two in particular, it was probably true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't surprise me. But, a lot of back and forth stuff, but, Trish gets cocky, basically, in the long and short of it. Attempts the chick kick, hits it. Jazz kicks out it too. Attempts Stratisfaction, hits it. Jazz kicks out it too. She's like, I got an idea. I'm so smart. Goes to the top rope. Goes for the Molly go around.
Ooh.
That's one last shot to Molly. But, Jazz, freak of nature that she is, catches her. Hits her with the triple power bombs. 1, 2, 3. Jazz, for the second time in her career, has become the AEW Women's Champion.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I
Oh, yeah.
anticipated this being the finish.
Okay.
And so
Like this specific? Like
no,
the way
not
it's-
that,
oh,
not
okay.
the how, but just the outcome.
The outcome.
The outcome.
Okay.
And so, while imagining a world where Jazz becomes a 2-time women's world champion, I wanted to ask:
Sure.
is it okay if her husband meets her at the top of the ramp?
Oh, Roddy?
Rodney, yeah.
Okay.
Because in my mind, he's there, he's supportive, you know,
Yeah, so
and he's a baby face.
I'm about to say they're all in the same company. So.
Exactly. And so, in my mind, when she's celebrating, I want him to embrace her, raise her hand, you know, give her the love that.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
Okay, I don't know. It just feels good to me. I always like that acknowledgement of the truth.
Yeah, like hi. Yeah, they're actually a couple. And we're like, yeah, that's cool.
Cool,
That's
cool.
Fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that, especially since Eric's gonna ruin it in like 5 seconds.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. We got the streamers, we got the balloons, confetti.
We got the husband.
pyro, the husbands in the ring, all that good stuff. Jazz getting her flowers, which she should have gotten for decades. But,
Oh my, yeah. I swear every other company she's ever worked for gave her the love that makes sense.
Yeah.
But WWE's like,
Yeah,
what do
just
we
the
care?
biggest company in the world. They're like, who is Jazz?
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
the same way with Gail Kim. They never
Yeah.
loved her like everybody else did.
Good Lord. Yeah, keep that in mind for a week's time. But yes, there's so many women that WWE just crapped on because they could.
Caitlyn from the
Caitlyn-
from the AJ Lee
Yeah.
Page era, I felt like she got crapped on a lot. But I was like,
she did. She was surprisingly not bad.
oh yeah,
Because especially like back when she won the Divas title, she was like what 3 years in the business.
something like
If
that.
that.
Not much at all.
Yeah, I'm about to say
That's the
very
important thing.
very infantile, but she was like surprisingly good at it.
Yeah, I think it's because she was hanging around with people that just loved it.
Yeah, they were truly about it. Yeah, she had a good crop of women like around her that she could have like developed around. But yeah, so Eric comes out. Obviously, congratulates Jazz on huge win. So awesome. But now that that's done and dusted, that's great. We're gonna start sweeping the confetti out so we can get these people out of here. God, I hate New York. And next week we're gonna celebrate your win by having you put the title on the line immediately against a woman I've personally scouted, a woman that I feel will dominate the women's division for years to come.
An international talent.
A true international talent like that. That's great. And she's going to make a great addition to AEW, great future. And I'm going to ensure that by making sure she becomes champion her first night on Raw.
Hilarious.
And that's the show.
I love it. That's so good.